Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session with Coach Keon, and today is an absolutely marvelous, magnificent Monday. And today, I just want to continue to share some insight with you. It's all about setting the plan for the week. And for my last video, I mentioned to you that setting that plan for the week talks about the mindset that you actually start the week with, where we want to remove the stigma that Monday is the most revered day of the week. Nobody likes Monday. The fact is, we can't get rid of Monday, so we just have to learn to live with it. And today I want to talk to you about how can we have delayed procrastination that actually leads us to become more productive. Yes, I know you're thinking, procrastination, that means we're putting things off. Exactly. And what we can do is, how do we turn ourselves into time multipliers versus us being always strapped for time? Many times we look at persons who are more productive and we try to figure out, well, how could that person get so much done and I'm always in a crunch for time? And we remember back when we were younger, when we were children and we couldn't finish our work, we had a lot of excuses we would have made to get out of it. Oh, I left my book home, or we had blackout. But now as adults, one of the biggest excuses we make is that we're always running out of time. So for today's session, I want to start looking at how can we be time multipliers rather than always being crunched for time. And I want to share with you today 4 areas that we can start working on that fits into or feeds into a funnel rather of how do we start looking at the things that we're doing and how can we start getting or regaining more time for ourselves. And the first activity is that we need to start determining what do we need to eliminate from our activities and from our lives, those things that are actually taking up a lot of our time. So if you look at your tasks and your list of things to do, we have to start determining what do we need to start saying no to in order for us to really improve what we're doing. Because every activity that you say no to, you're actually creating more time to say yes to activities that can be more productive. And some persons have a difficulty saying no to a friend or to a family member because we don't want to rock the boat. We want to make sure that we are the superhero to everyone. Unfortunately, time does not permit for us to focus on all those things at the same time. And every time you say yes to one activity, you're actually saying no to a multitude of other things that you could have been doing with your time. So for us to really improve on getting more time, we need to first start by eliminating some of those activities that takes up a lot of our time. So what we want to make sure that we do from what we need to eliminate, we then need to start thinking, well, how do we start evaluating those tasks and how important they are? One of the things I want to share with you when it comes to evaluating those tasks is that you start thinking about the impact rather than just a priority. You want to do activities that are going to give you a long-term impact. So you're moving the focus away from just doing it because somebody asks you to, but start thinking about the impact those activities will have either on yourself or on the individual that you'll be doing the activity for. So from start eliminating to then evaluating, we then want to start thinking about how do we start delegating some of those activities. The reality is, if I ask the question, are there activities that you can delegate? The response will be yes. My next question will be, why are you not delegating those activities? And some of the general responses, well, the most general response is, oh, they're not going to do it as good as I would. Fair enough. They might not do it as good as you the first time. But if you delegate effectively, and might I even share with you, there is an art to delegating. Many persons believe that delegating is just telling somebody what to do. In fact, that is just giving an instruction, and there's a clear and distinct difference between the two. First of all, if you're delegating something to someone, you as an individual need to know how to do it first before you can delegate it to someone else. And it's more about how do you train the person to get it done so that you can be confident that that individual can actually perform in a way that you will feel satisfied and perform to a standard that you can feel comfortable and safe with them actually doing the activity without you being there, without you being present. So you can learn more about the art of delegation in our supervisory management training. But for now, we want to start thinking the person is going to actually start learning how to do it. And we want to make sure that, one, they can just do it. So start getting the habit of them getting it done. You want to make sure then they can do it right. So in the art of delegating, you want to make sure that you train them in such a way that they can start getting it done correctly. And then finally, that they can do it right and also do it fast. In that way, you're leaving the person with the task to be done that you're confident they can actually deliver on it. So we have to move away from the superiority complex that we are the only person who can actually get this done correctly, or nobody could do it to our standard. We had to learn, and we learned from someone else as well, and we have to make sure that we transfer our skills and expertise to an individual who, one, has the ability to learn, and two, who is also willing to learn. Because if the person is not willing, then it makes no sense. It goes back to the old adage where we say that you're throwing water on a dog's back. So once you determine what you need to eliminate, once you then evaluate what your task that you're doing based on impact for yourself and also for the individual, and then you start determining, well, what can you actually now effectively delegate, it becomes time to determine what do you need to get done now versus what you can leave for a later date. And this talks about you as the individual. There are some activities that you need to get done immediately that you as an individual need to do personally. So for example, if it's your banking and you have to deal with your personal banking information, I wouldn't suggest that you delegate that to somebody if the information is sensitive. That is something that you need to get done now, which means that you need to concentrate on getting that activity executed and executed to the best of your ability. Secondly, there are activities that you can put off for a later date because it has no significant impact or it does not need to get done immediately. And that is where the procrastination aspect comes in. You have to distinguish between what you need to concentrate on immediately, what you need to concentrate on now, versus what can be put off for a later date. And once you distinguish between those two activities, the ones that needs to be done now are the ones you're going to concentrate on, and the ones that can be put off are the ones we categorize as the activities we can procrastinate. And that feeds into your task funnel again. Because once it doesn't need to be done now, then you need to start determining, is it an activity that I can eliminate? Or is it an activity that would have significant impact on myself or the persons that I'm doing it for? And more importantly, is it an activity that I can actually delegate to someone else? So those are the criteria that we can use to start assessing how are we using our time and how can we actually improve our ability to become more productive by, one, creating an atmosphere where we're not always crunched for time, and that we can start setting our activities in such a way that we can actually be accountable for our time, we can be accountable for our actions, and more importantly, we can be accountable for our results. Now that was the information I wanted to share with you today as it relates to how do we improve our time. And just to leave one more thing with you, that there is actually no such thing as time management. The clock is doing exactly what it needs to do. It is either perched on the wall or on a desk or somewhere else, and it is doing what it's supposed to do, which means it is telling time. Time is something that we can't stop at our personal whims and fantasy, but it is changing the way we do things, having that internal discipline that we can actually become more productive with our time. And to learn more about this and other tools that we use here at ActionCOACH Guyana, I'm extending a personal invitation to business owners out there who may want to improve the way in which they manage or use their time for their business. We have our business growth seminar that is going to be on August 17th, which is next Friday. It starts from 4 p.m. You get a chance to come and network with other like-minded business owners, and there's a reason why we do it on Friday. If you come to the when you come to the seminar, rather, you're going to get to hear about that reason why we keep it on a Friday. And then secondly, you start building your network and open your minds to learning new tools and skills that you can use to improve your business. For those growth-oriented team members out there who wanting to, or even the business owners who wants to improve their team members, we have our seminar club program, and that is every Thursday from 1 to 4 p.m. We cover various topic areas when it comes to developing soft skills and business acumen, such as marketing, sales, supervisory management, communication. In fact, our next session this Thursday is going to be on sales, where we explore the science behind selling. Many persons believe that sales is just taking a product or a service and delivering it to a customer and collecting their money. There's a whole science behind it, and we explore that science to really help develop effective salespersons within your company. For organizations out there who are thinking they might not be able to send persons from 1 to 4, if you have a team of 10 and more, we can actually come to your location and perform these trainings for you as well. So just reach out to us. There's going to be a link in the video where persons can get registered, or you can call us on 223-5583, where one of our team members will be more than willing to provide you with any information that you so desire with regards to how do you get involved, how do you sign up for our 6-step seminar, and how do you sign your team members up for our training. So that's it for today. When it comes to developing that self-discipline to become more effective and use your time more effectively, so you remember the 4 areas that we covered. 1, you need to eliminate tasks that you don't necessarily need to do, those tasks that usually take up a lot of your time. You want to make sure that you evaluate the tasks that you're doing based on impact that it's going to have. Start determining those tasks that you have to delegate or you may need to delegate, so that it can help you free up your time as well. And then start distinguishing the tasks that really requires you as an individual to get done. What do you need to do now, as in what do you need to concentrate on? And then secondly, what can you put in the frame of procrastination, which means what can you put off for a later date? And then even when you put those tasks off, you need to start thinking, well, which part of the funnel does it fit in now? Is it something that I can eliminate? Is it something that I need to evaluate for impact? Or is it something that I can actually delegate? So continue to have a magnificent, marvelous Monday. And this is Coach Keon saying goodbye for now. Do enjoy your lunch today. And I know I've provided you with a dessert before your lunch, but I hope that it complements your appetite. So have a fantastic Monday and a fantastic rest of the week. See you guys.